What's up, guys? We are back in the kayaks exploring my home waters where the Wired to Fish headquarters is based, the upper Mississippi River. I grew up fishing this river. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Never in my life have I seen it this high. So I'm anxious to see yeah, watch out for that. I'm anxious to see just what exactly is going on here with this high water, what the fish do, because typically I've got all my haunts and spots, but they're all underwater and we're fishing fairly deep. So we'll see. Okay, now that we're done with that, it worked. Oh, buddy. Not a huge one, but we'll take it. Good start to the day, high water, fishing a lot of grass. So, chatterbait, great for ripping grass, skipping under these limbs. Cute little river smallmouth. And that's what we're doing. This chatterbait right here is called Mini Max. So perfect smallmouth size chatterbait. A little bit smaller hook on there, a little bit smaller blade. And then I got a Z-Man twin tails on there for just a little bulk plastic trailer. And like I said, I'm ripping grass. I'm looking on my graph here. I can see where the grass ends, where the edge is. And those fish are just gonna be roaming that. And that is how I'm going to try to approach it. If I see a nice lay down, a boulder, you know, I'll tuck it up in there too. Any kind of current break, anything that'll hold fish. It's fair game.
We got us one. Wait, I always forget how hard the river fish fight. He's not even big. Boy, he ate it. Just a little guy. But it's a start. Oh, he did it, didn't he? He was sitting right in that little pocket right there. He did exactly what we freaking thought he would. He showed up on that twitch bait, that musky bait. And I'm like, oh, see, I'll drop this in, see if he gets it. He did. So I dropped the little pole, the micro behind me, as you can see. And I just was casting back behind me because what had happened is I was throwing a much larger bait behind me. Well, earlier up the river, this big twitch reaper, and because the water is so dang high right now, it's like you almost need them to show themselves and then you can kind of go back and catch them. But I was watching that real bright orange twitch reaper And I was just twitching that along, and I saw one come up behind it, and it was looking at it, you know, it almost bit it. But I was like, you know what? If you're gonna do that, I picked up a different rod and just threw back on them, with the little tiny child, of course, and they can't help that. That's kind of what I'm gonna go do. Just keep going down the river and just cover a bunch of water with that big bait, because the water is so high and so deep. I just really want to try and locate those fish as fast as possible, or at least find the fish that are like the most active, and then go back and like throw back on them with a smaller bait and then actually catch them. But to just go pick apart, like you can go throw by some fish and they may not even see this thing. With the water conditions the way that it is, normally, yeah, they'll see it, but right now it's a lot of high water and it's deep and it's moving fast. So with that bigger bait, it just gives off so much more of a presence. There he is. God dang it, eat it. Got him. Top water. Oh, we'll get him. No, I think just the one. Come on, little buddy. Keys, I forgot how hard river smallmouth pull. Not even big. We're just putting some things together, little clues. It's really starting to warm up, and I don't know, it seems like once you locate the smallmouth, they're kind of biting, but locating them is the tricky part. We're about to lose our shade here probably in the next hour or less. It's supposed to get like 85 degrees. It's just like hot and stewy right now. That's also part of the reason I'm throwing for muskies, but it's also working in tandem to catch smallmouths. So that's, you know, something to keep in mind when you're fishing a river, especially a river that's like absolutely swole, because I'm probably just as lost fishing a river as the next guy when it's this high. It's like into the trees, and I don't really even know how to break that down other than what I'm really doing right now. Fishing big baits, getting fish to come up and look at them, and then like pitch back on a little top water, a little plastic, give it, you know, kind of go the high low on them. Some of those smallmouths really like to come up. That twitch bait isn't going that far underneath the water, so they're coming up and kind of kissing it, but it's just such a big bait that, you know, and that's where I kind of grabbed, you just saw me there a second ago, grab this combo right here. Just look, bone, black or bone on the river is always good. Orange is always good. This is a little hijacker. Keys has got one. What do you got, Keys? Little smallie. Yeah, that's kind of what it's been, is kind of little smallmouths. But I think that's just a matter of time before we can find a decent sized fish.
This guy's right off the old grass line. Another freaking dinks. But right off the grass line, I was just kind of drifting a jerkbait through there, feeling my way around. He popped it on slack line. I kind of have a feeling that these grass lines are going to be the ticket. Nice dark one. Just caught that fish on a jerkbait. And, you know, the nature of smallmouth is that they kind of like to run in packs. And so, you know, the current's moving right now, really pushing us along. And it can be really easy to blow by a spot. So I just quick turned around, and now I'm facing the current, using the pedal system to maintain my speed and depth. And so now I'm casting ahead, fishing a current seam. There's a grass island out here and then a current seam on this side, and at the end of it there's sand. You know, I went kind of blew through there with a jerkbait, and now I got a little football head and a plastic on, Z-Man goat. And I'm just kind of dragging it through that sand, shell bottom, combing it, see if I can pull a couple more fish between this grass island and this current seam. So that allows me to not work as hard to stay in the current. And so that's a good way to kind of, you know, not blow by a spot. You catch a fish, turn around, find a position where you can use the pedal system to maintain depth and speed, where you can maintain bottom contact with the jig, control, be able to fight the fish if you happen to hook one. Perfect. I mean, they're all, this is so weird. There's usually a lot of really nice fish in this stretch, but they've all been buck bass so far. Water temperatures 68, 69. But man, I just had myself in a perfect position there. There's a little root ball over there. And I got myself down river of it, casted up river, and it's almost like a little eddy, so that thing was just hanging there. I'm thinking that's gonna be maybe more of the ticket today with the water being so high, but it's definitely worth checking out. Like I said, I've never fished it this high before, just to know that kind of what fish do under this condition.
There's a big smallmouth right there. There's a good one. Oh, I barely got her. I barely got her. Come on. Come here. Come here, no. Don't shake off, don't shake off, don't shake off. Oh, she's gonna get off. She got off. I barely had her hooked on the musky bait.
Wouldn't you know it, another thing. Yeah, they're not real jumpy, eh? One out of them. Some pliers on this filler. Another jerkbait, buck smallmouth in the current seam. Great bait for just letting it hang, giving those fish time, because one thing that we've observed today is that they're not wanting to come out real far. I mean, if you can imagine, they might be sitting, you know, in a log jam right tight to the bank. Well, after that, it's just like a sheer drop from, you know, a grassy bank to 12 feet of water. Most fish like to hang tight to that. So if you can use a lure that hangs a little bit longer at one spot, that means they don't have to commit to coming out as far into the river to hit your bait.
There he is. Oh, it's a freaking... Oh, it is a walleye. There he is. Walleye. Thought it was a little pike at first. Well, I got a walleye. Let's go.
Oh, there we go. Come on with it. God, taking up the swim. Best one yet, not huge. There she is. Oh. So, you know, one of the main attributes of a chatterbait is just completely erratic action, and so I'm using that to my advantage in the current, where as soon as that bait hits the water, just a little pop, so that thing just goes in the current like that. It's often when you're going to hit. Like I said, those fish are hanging so tight to the bank. If you can just impart, you know, a little bit more action, something to get them to commit in that few feet that you have for those fish to bite, that's kind of the ticket. And that's kind of why the erraticness of a chatterbait is really good in this scenario. Doubles, biggin, biggin, biggin. Come on, baby, that's a big one. There's two big ones here. Come on, come on. That's a big one. Oh, did you get that? Oh, buddy. Let's get a look at this girl here. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Bronze back, brown bass, river butte. Oh man, finally. Like I said, I've been catching bucks all day. Alex just caught a real nice fish too, and then pretty close to where he caught that one, this old girl got it. What a butte. Oh, triple hooks are always fun to fish. Let's get that girl back. Oh my goodness. Love it. Goodbye. Goodbye. There we go. Might come up. Oh, it's huge. What's up, little one? Chubby one. Chubby fats. Like that. My pliers. So yeah, I mean, having a variety of baits is kind of the ticket. Right now at this high water, you know, you need something to hang. So I'm using right now jerkbait, keeping it really close to that grass edge. Things that fish are maybe afraid to come too far from. A bait that just hangs there like, oh, there's another one, there's a good one. Oh my goodness, come on. Come on with it. Oh, it's a walleye. We'll take that. Walleye off the edge. Hello. Beauty. Beauty floppity. A little walleye on the jerkbait. Pretty dang fun way to do that. Like I said, jerkbait for something that can hang on that grass line. Chatterbait so it can kind of, you know, weasel around log jams, whatnot, erratic action. Then I got that little football jig too if I find some hard bottom or a little bit deeper water. Just like that. Beautiful. Whoa. Ooh, there he is. What are you? What are you? You wouldn't believe it. It's another nice walleye, much nicer one though. Yeah, much nicer one. Much nicer one. Oh, that's fun. Come on, baby. Oh, he's fat. Oh, he's fat. Well, I'll be danged. Love me a marble eye. Like I said, on a jerkbait. Freaking fun. We're out here shooting some still photography for Old Town and multi-species Mississippi River action. It's one of my favorite things ever. Alex has got a nice little smallie hooked up. We'll take a few pictures and let this one go.
You just about didn't make it. Good Lord, look at that. This one definitely was in the mouth of what appears to be a musky, probably right in there. Had him by the midsection. Lucky for him, he made the escape, I guess. He's looking a little haggard now because he's caught a few fish, but as you can see, that bait rides up the line and it nicely gets out of the way. You just slide it back down, put it back in, and gosh, you can just catch a ton of fish on this little thing.
Oh, coming up. See that drop? It's out here more now. See if I can get a muskie to chase him. It's tiny. Like, not even worth shooting him, but hey, proof's in the pudding. Look out on your graph, and the flat was starting to come out, rounding out on this bend here. So I backed up a little bit and was looking at my graph. Lo and behold, there's the drop out a little bit farther than it was before. First cast out along that drop. Fish use those channels, these corridors to feed, and that is where you need to concentrate your effort. Come on, baby, I don't want to hurt you. There we go. Oop. Next generation fry garter. Just a little. Woo! Right off the break. There's Alex, hooked up swim bait. sunny day on the old ribs, just floating leisurely, catching some fish. Right off the break. There's another one. Woo, they're freaking piled up right there. Oh. Same deal. Another one about the same size, but oftentimes, oh, just digging. That's the beauty of this rod too. Oh, Cashin's Icon. Oh, Cashin's Icon casting rod. Topwater jerkbait rod. It's a 7-foot extra fast, and I got a Lew's custom light on here, which makes this one of the lightest casting combos ever, which is good for jerkbait setup because you will wear your arm out, you'll wear your wrist out, shoulder, elbow, all the above, just doinking that rod all day. So having a light setup definitely helps with that, and I highly recommend this one. 12-pound fluorocarbon. I believe I've got Suffix Advance on here right now.
Here he comes. Look at that, he got it. Yep. Not a bad one either. Yeah, look at, he's got that thing crossways. I mean, got it. I don't know which hook to try and dig out first. One. It's not that I can't get a hold of them, it's just that he's got all of them. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna kind of give, I don't know how I feel, if it's possible or not, but 3, 2, oh, dang it. I was gonna pick him up and he was saying nope. See ya. Yep. There you have it. That concludes our Mississippi float trip. What do we have for kayaks? What did we conquer? We had the autopilot. This is not the Predator, right? This is the big water. Yeah. And then the 120 PDLs. Caught a few bass, caught a few walleyes, saw some pretty country. Yeah, that's pretty much concludes the trip. I'm gonna put the camera in the cooler.